How's it going, guys? People X a fist bump here. And my channel is all about whining and complaining about Valorant. In fact, it's just part of my image at this point. So today we're taking a full 360, or 180, oops. Today we're taking a full 180 on my channel. I want to talk to you guys about the impact Valorant actually has made. Valorant is basically like a yin-yang. Except it's like 70% black and 30% white, like, yeah. Which is why I want to look at the benefit of the doubt first. Because of Valorant's existence, Valve actually got back onto caring about Counter-Strike. Yes, you should remember this. Before Valorant broke a record of being the most streamed video game of all time in 2020, Counter-Strike was basically dead. Not necessarily player-base wise, but development wise. There was a weird slump in CSGO, where the developers just straight up neglected the game. My theory is the fact that since the skin market in CSGO is so competitive and expensive, you have to consider the fact that Valve takes a small portion of the profits from every time a skin is sold. If Valve takes 10% of the profits made from every knife sold on the Steam market, and let's say for example purposes, there was a knife that was just sold for $2,000, Valve successfully made $200 doing nothing. They literally just sat there and made $200, and that basically accumulates, which is why I'm theorizing that this is why CSGO was basically dead development-wise. But I think many streamers remember the day when Valve just suddenly got back onto CSGO and started nerfing and buffing everything, simply because they realized Valorant is actually competition for them.
So here's a question. How long has the SIG been f***ed? Okay? And you're telling me 3 days after Valorant comes out, we're f***ing hauling ass now all of a sudden? Huh? We're just kicking it into high gear and fixing something we hated forever? Okay, all right. Yeah, I see you. No one's falling for it right now, brother, okay? You better hope Valorant fails.
So yes, I know Counter-Strike players hate Valorant with a passion, but I hope you guys can see the benefit of the doubt here. All right, let's move along here. I'm gonna have to rudely interrupt today's video, because today I want to talk about today's sponsor, Valorant Tracker. Valorant Tracker is quite literally the best way of monitoring all of your in-game statistics. It allows you to monitor all of your trends and everything that you need to know to improve. It also just reminds me that my headshot percentage is horrible, but that's a personal problem. We don't need to get into that. And my favorite part is the fact that it overlays over your tab button. Me, personally, I love using this. Mainly because it just allows me to correct myself. Because without Valorant Tracker, I wouldn't know what I'm doing wrong. And it's also the main reason I hit #1 Radiant. Sigh, what can I say? I'm just that good. If you're interested, make sure you use the link in the description, because not only is it literally 2 clicks to install, but it's also an affiliate link, so it helps the channel out. If you love supporting me, if you love my content, then be sure to use that affiliate link, because it really helps me out a lot. Oh, and did I mention the app is completely free? Like, you're not getting charged here for anything. Like, it's free. And I'd like to thank Valorant Tracker for sponsoring today's video. All right, let's get back to it. Now here's a take that a lot of people were a bit iffy about, but hear me out for a second. I think Valorant has become a very huge milestone when it comes to actual in-game weapon cosmetics. And I think Valorant has some of the best weapon skins of all time in gaming. Hear me out, don't unsubscribe yet, hear me out. First off, I said one of the best. I didn't say the best, but I think we can appreciate the fact that Valorant skins are actually insane. Like, it's very hard to compare Valorant skins to any other game just because of how unique and chaotic they are. Now, whether you think chaotic is a good or bad thing, that's solely up for you to decide. But even then, Valorant has a little bit of something for everyone. Like, let's say you don't want a chaotic Vandal skin. Like, let's say you don't want like an Araxis or a Glitch Pop. Like, you can literally just tone it down. Get yourself something from the Black Market collection or the Ego collection. Recon is probably my most favorite mid-tier skin, and a lot of people can agree with me on this. This is like, for such a simple concept, it looks really sleek. What I'm trying to get at is that Valorant took some huge footsteps for weapon skins. Like most FPS games, let's be real here, they usually just slap a camo on a gun and just call it a day. Now let's move on to this next subject, which is, in my opinion, the most important and impressive part about Valorant. To this day, Valorant has the best anti-cheat gaming has ever seen. I'm not even joking, I've been playing this game for 3, almost 4 years, and I've literally encountered a cheater like once or twice. Like, cheating is so rare in this game, and it's all because of Vanguard. It is one of the most strict anti-cheats gaming has ever seen, and in my opinion, I think it does an amazing job compared to other shooters. Obviously, the main controversy here, the elephant in the room is that Vanguard is a little too strict. Like, for God's sake, you have to give it kernel access to your computer. For all we know, there's Chinese spyware on our computer as we speak. Like, who knows? It was very sketchy at first, and to be fair, it is still a little sketchy. But who knows? Maybe there will be a lawsuit one day with Vanguard just digging into our computer a little too much. Now, as we go along here, I want to talk about a comment that really stood out. See, on my community tab, I posted this. Say something genuinely positive about Valorant, and then I just talk about how I think Valorant skins are amazing. And I want to talk about this comment right here. Valorant is very good at listening to their community. Now, before you say anything, they do provide with agent changes and new game modes. They're just very slow when it comes to a lot of stuff, such as a replay system. However, when it comes to patches and anti-cheat, they're very effective and quick. Yeah, like I said, Vanguard, probably the best anti-cheat gaming has ever seen. But I think M Games has a point here. I know it's become like a big joke in Valorant how time to nerf Chamber. Guys, there's a game-breaking bug in the game. Riot's response, time to nerf Chamber. Truth is, the reason Chamber got a huge nerf over time was because of the community. The biggest complaint about Chamber's day one release was that this dude was basically a god. Highest pick rate in competitive. Chamber mains having the highest KDs, like it was actually insane. And it's, like I said, all thanks to the community. Something that also gets overlooked a lot is the team mute feature. This was something that was actually asked a lot by the community. And guess what? Valorant actually added a team mute button. A keybind you could set up that will just mute your entire team. Really good for clutches or just toxic teammates. Whenever the community complains about a character being very bad, borderline useless, like Deadlock, like Cypher, for God's sake, do you remember Cypher back then? Bro was basically useless. Valorant is usually on it, like, immediately. So yeah, I'm gonna stop glazing Valorant here. Alright, see y'all.